Hello there, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'll begin with no spoilers and then give you spoiler warning when we get into it. Wow, I this episode was great. I think it was a very good episode to wrap up the series. We get some finality to the story that we've been talking about for Obi-Wan. We get some really cool fights, really cool action. The music is amazing. Everything looks great. I just think the team just really nailed the landing here. It was very emotional, and it was just, I don't know, like it really feels like it was part of Star Wars, and I'm just really enjoying this series. And overall, I really enjoyed the series. So yeah, highly recommend you go check it out. If you are this deep into the series, you might as well you owe it to yourself to finish. So but let's get into spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the show, go back and watch it and then come back and finish the rest of the video. But here we go. So after the last episode, we have the Empire Darth Vader ship, particularly chasing down the people on the path, including Obi-Wan and Leia. Roken, and he's manning the ship. So Obi-Wan knows that in order for him to buy some time for the ship to be fully repaired and be able to jump into hyperspace, that he needs a distraction, and so he needs to pretty much sacrifice himself to confront Vader, so that they'll be able to get away. So yeah, that's exactly what happens. We have a really good conversation between Leia and Obi-Wan, because she doesn't want him to go, obviously. But I think at this point, Obi-Wan has been. This whole series has been about Obi-Wan dealing with the events that happened in Revenge of the Sith, and the fallout from that, and how he has been carrying this guilt for all these years. Now it's finally the chance for him to. I guess he feels that he can atone for everything, and that's kind of where we are at this point. So Obi-Wan does escape. They go to this planet. Vader chases him, of course. In the meanwhile, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, we do know that Reva is chasing down Luke in Tatooine. So we do see her arrive in Tatooine, asking about Owen. And that's kind of where we left off on the last episode, where we wouldn't know, like, what was Reva's next step gonna be. Why would she? I guess the assumption is that she would find out that, kind of connect those pieces, that this kid is somehow important to Vader. So she, anything that she could do to hurt him at this time. Um, but let's get back to Obi-Wan. We'll go get back to Tatooine in a minute. So yeah, we get this final confrontation between Vader and Obi-Wan, and it is fantastic. Like, one of the most fierce lightsaber fights we've seen in in everything Star Wars. I mean, everything. The Clone Wars had some really good stuff. The sequel movies had some really good stuff. But man, this one was, I guess, because it does feel like it's packed with emotion, really, and that's kind of what helps sell the fight too. Just seeing Obi-Wan and Ewan McGregor's performance of him struggling because he believes his friend's still in there, and Vader uses that to his advantage. He takes the upper hand. He kind of buries Obi-Wan in this hole, and as he thinks he's left him to die, Obi-Wan remembers why he's doing what he's doing. Right, he's doing this for Luke and Leia. Like, that's like the last thing he can do to pay back, or atone for what what happened. Like, he owes that to Padme. He owes that to Anakin, to take care of the kids, and that's kind of what motivates him. So I really thought at this point we were going to see maybe Qui-Gon's Force ghost finally reach out to Obi-Wan, but I'm kind of glad that it was actually the motivation that he wants to save the kids. And not just Leia. He also thought about Luke in that moment. I think Deborah Chow and the editing team do a fantastic job of kind of laying that in, so you really know what's going on. And yeah, Obi-Wan comes back, and he comes back with a force. He starts wailing on Vader really hard and starts taking out his equipment. And at his compromise, he cannot fully unleash the force that we've seen him. He cannot fully unleash the force that we've seen him. Right, we've seen him take down a ship and tear it apart with his hands. So it's not a matter of strength. It's a matter of like you take out the legs of a big fighter, then they can't really use their full potential. Same thing here. Um, and yeah, Obi-Wan just takes him out, and this really cool moment where he slashes his mask, and the mask kind of comes half torn off, and we finally get to see uh, Hayden Christensen behind the mask with the makeup, and they have this moment where Obi-Wan wants to apologize, and he tells him like, "Look, Anakin is dead. I killed him, and I'm gonna kill you too." So that is Obi-Wan's final moment where he realizes his friend is gone forever. But this finally lets him move on, but also it allows him to um, not have to kill Vader. So he leaves him there, and that's kind of it was such a really good conclusion to the fight. It was amazing. And like I said, the choreography was great. The music was amazing all throughout, very much charged with emotions. So in the meanwhile, in Tatooine, yeah, Reva is asking about Owen. She finds him. She's planning to go get him. Somebody did give Owen a heads up, so it's really cool to see Owen and Beru. I guess we never really learned much about the characters, but I mean, Beru's kind of a badass. We just never got around to see that because she was in the film so for such a limited time. But yeah, they try to protect Luke from Reva. Obviously, they falter because she is an Inquisitor, and even though she's hurt, she's still suffering from the injury that Vader gave her. There's still no match for her. She doesn't kill anyone because she's just really focused on getting to Luke, which Luke runs into the desert. Unfortunately, Reva does catch up to him eventually, and at this moment, when Reva is finally about to strike down, this child and get her what she would call justice, um, she can't do it. She can't do it. So we see Obi-Wan travels back to Tatooine because he can feel that Luke is in danger, but we wouldn't. I mean, we don't even know if he would have made it back. Um, so yeah, we're there. Reva finally understands that she is not going to become like Vader, and that whatever justice she thought she was getting for everyone, it's not something that she can get through what she's been doing. I don't know what's going to happen to the character. I've heard things that there might be like a spin-off or follow around. I would not mind seeing a series more detailing. I would like a twofold story, like uh, what is Reba doing going forward, but how did Reba get to where we found her in Kenobi, right? Working your way up to become like leaving the temple, working her way up to become an Inquisitor, and then in the meanwhile also trying to figure out what I think that'd be a kind of cool story to see twofold, because I really like the Inquisitor, so I want to see more. So yeah, and here we are. I think at this point everything is getting wrapped up. We do see Leia's back in Alderaan with her parents, which Obi-Wan goes to visit one last time. So that really clears up any doubts of like, do we know, did Leia know who Obi-Wan really was? I know in the movie she just mentions you helped my father in the Clone Wars, but I think that's all due to this whole sequence of events of Obi-Wan has to remain a secret between both of them. So yeah, and then Obi-Wan is finally ready to move on. He's got a new outfit, and you can kind of see his outfits had been getting progressively lighter as he returns to the as he returns to the Force. Really interesting stuff. Like really cool to see that progression. Like you don't really think about it until you're there. And then once I saw the outfit, I was like, oh, he's back. Boys are back in the light. Um, and yeah, he goes to say goodbye to Luke for a little bit. It looks like he will be going on maybe some missions, some of the stuff that we've seen in the journals of Kenobi, in the comics, stuff like that. Um, and he does get a chance to say hi to Luke, which is interesting because we do know Luke was familiar with Kenobi. He didn't really know who he was, right? He just knew him as Ben, the Hermit. But yeah, and we know that he gave him his little ship back, his little toy ship that we see in Episode 4. So yeah, at this point, just when you think everything's going down as Obi-Wan is leaving, and this is probably the biggest spoiler, but one of my favorite things that happen is that we do see Obi-Wan finally able to see Qui-Gon, the Force Ghost, and Qui-Gon showing up is really cool. He's one of my favorite characters, and just from that one movie, so really cool to see him back. And from here, now we understand that the reason that he would not, that Obi-Wan wasn't ready to see him, but he told him like, look, I've always been here, you just haven't been able to see me. So it's good to see that Obi-Wan has finally come to that place where he is at peace. He has dealt with his trauma and his guilt and all the stuff that he's been dealing with. So I don't know, really good stuff. I can see this being set up for a season 2 where maybe he goes around like before he feels there's some things he needs to do before he can come back to Tatooine when we see him in Episode 4. I mean, there's still plenty of time. There's still like a couple, like 8-9 years maybe that they can cover. So yeah, it'd be cool to see a season 2 where Obi-Wan's actually just maybe trying to help some of these Force sensitive people out, help them escape, commune with Qui-Gon and see more of his training, because he eventually does achieve that. And then we kind of know what happens at Episode 4. So yeah, this series was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope to see more. I think Deborah Chow and the team just did an amazing job. Really good to see a lot of these characters back, a lot of these actors, especially Hayden Christensen. I think I'm glad that he feels like, I don't know, I feel like he's got so much crap from a long time ago that I'm glad that he finally sees that there's a lot of people that love those movies. So yeah, but you guys let me know, what did you think of Kenobi? Let us know down in the comments. And thanks for watching this. If anybody that watched all the episodes with us, very thankful for that. So yeah, stay tuned. We have more stuff coming into the channel: comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, movie reviews. We also have some videos from Fan Expo Dallas. So go check that out. We have a panel with Katie Lotz. We have a walk around with my GoPro, just walking around the convention. And yeah, fun stuff. We'll do more stuff, and make sure to share, like, subscribe. Thanks to everyone that helped us get to 700 subs. Now let's keep going. So if you're watching this so far and you're not subscribed, this is your chance to hit that subscribe button. So anyways, thanks for watching, everyone, as always, and may the Force be with you. Bye.
The Force will be with you always.